Well, good morning. Good morning. It's so good to be back. I missed you all last week while I was out gallivanting around the western side of Virginia. We had a lot of fun. If you missed that video, go check it out. I showed all the details of where we went. Anyway, enough about that. Thank you all for joining me today, whether you're watching the live or the replay. If you are watching the replay, say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always nice to know where my viewers are watching. And just thank you for taking just a bit of time out of your day to watch today's video. I brought along my good friend Amber from So Majestic. We've had her on several times before, and it's always good to have her back, and she was available this morning, so we're going to sew some stuff together. So Amber, do you want to just tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you do, and that sort of thing there?
Sure. So hi everyone. My name's Amber. I own So Majestic. So I have a little side business, mostly bag making, and then I do a lot of YouTube tutorials, both for bag making, and I am blessed to be a ambassador for Cotton Cuts. So that's what I'm gonna be working on this morning. I have the second half of month 4 for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. So you'll see me working on that today.
Excellent. And it's always fun to have Amber on because she's been an ambassador for the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt, I think the same amount of time as I have. And I think we're going into our 5th one together, correct?
Yes, and I'm so excited about it because it's a real mystery for many of us this time.
Yes, we did a little bit of coordinating, I think is the way we can say it. Yeah, one of us went to the Cotton Cuts team and said, hey, why don't we do this whole mystery thing, where one ambassador picks for another, like a Secret Santa type thing. And so they reached out to the ambassadors. I think we have a total of 6 people altogether that are doing this. So I have picked for someone else. Someone else has picked for me. I know who I picked for, and I'm not telling you. I have no clue who picked for me. I figure it's not Amber because she picked for me 2 times ago. But other than that, it could be Ian, it could be Beth, it could be Andy, it could be Crystal.
Yeah, I'm super excited because
I don't know who the other one is.
was it Andrea maybe? I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember now. There's 6 of us. It's you, me, Ian, Beth, Crystal. I don't know who number 6 is. Anyway, that's a mystery. So anyway, stay tuned to our respective platforms and also the Cotton Cut site, because I think they may end up doing a big reveal like we did with Ian and I last time. I don't know. We haven't got all the details yet, but as I said, we put in our picks, and at some point they'll tell us what we have. I think they're waiting for us to get our stuff on our doorstep, I think, is what they did last time. So we may not hear anything for a month or 2. So don't threat. We'll make sure we give you plenty of notifications on what's going on. Donnell, I think, she's picked her own. I don't think she's participating in the what I call the Secret Santa one. But yet Donnell is one of the brand new ambassadors.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know. She's been such a big supporter of the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt for a while. And yeah, she was just like, she was giddy as a schoolgirl when she found out about a week ago that they had selected her to be an ambassador. I was the same way when they picked me. So yeah. I'm super, super excited for her for that. So anyway, let's see who is here with us, and then I'll tell you what I'm working on, because I've pulled out one of my projects from the sin bin, is what I told Amber earlier, which is an Australian term for the penalty box, because I tried doing this a few months ago. It didn't work out. I goofed. It was my fault. I put something together wrong. I tried to fix it. It didn't work. So I had to start all over, cut everything out, but we're going to have some fun with it. Donna, Dragonflies with Donna was our first viewer this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, Annette. Good morning to Miss Polly. Mary G is here with us. Good morning to Laurie, Jeannie E, Dawn Stewart. Muriel is here with us as well. Chloe, good morning to you. Melanie Taylor, good morning to Miss Mona. Giovanna, good afternoon to you. She's from our one of my mates from Italy. I'll get it there right in a minute.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's it for right now. So I'm going to see if Bob decides to work today, because recently it's been on a very, very long summer vacation. And it looks like it might be continuing. Anyway, all right. So good morning, Miss Andrea. It's good to see you. Okay, so I am going to work on the, what's it called? Blueberry block from the pattern produce section by Elizabeth Hartman. I'll get it right here in a minute. and it's tiny. I showed Amber one of the pieces I'm working on. This is going to be some flying geese, and this is it here. It measures out 1 by 1.5. So if you like tiny piecing, this block is for you. If you don't like tiny piecing, just hang out with me and watch me make a fool of myself, most likely. All right.
I'm excited to watch you because I have not attempted Elizabeth Hartman yet. So I we'll see if I get some inspiration because I love the way the quilts look. But like you said, they're so small. It is very intimidating.
It depends on the pattern. There are some of her patterns are not as small as the others. Like the koalas are not too bad.
Okay.
They're fairly good. The pandas in pajamas or whatever it's pandas and sweaters. I'll get it right there in a minute. Also another one that doesn't have super tiny pieces and that sort of thing there. So she does have some patterns out there that aren't that are good if you want to do it for the first time.
Oh, that's good to know then.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. I saw Christina came in. She is from Sweden, I believe. I have one viewer from Sweden, one from Norway, and I do not want to get them mixed up.
You'll be in trouble.
I would be in trouble. I'd see my subscriber count go down by 1 most likely. And I don't want to do that because I like each and every one of you. Good morning, Miss Brenda. It's good to see you. She's my friend from Louisville, Kentucky. Wonderful part of the country. I loved being up there for about a week last year. Michelle the Quilter says, good morning, Sean and Amber. I'm happily subscribed to both of you. I'm happy you participated in the Cotton Cuts Mystery. Great idea. Hello, everyone in the chat. Yeah, I really enjoyed having the mystery aspect of it because it forces me out of my comfort zone. Amber started that with Tombstone, and I'm so thankful for that because I would have just stuck with the boutiques until the end of time. And then Cotton Cuts gave me Flamingo for this current one, which is that one. And again, I would not have picked this for myself.
I'm so glad they gave you that one. If I was picking, that would have been my top choice for you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I just think it's really fun that there's a bunch of us doing it this time. So
yeah, I'm really excited because, like you said, we both know that we're not picking each other's. So I'm curious who has me and what they're going to pick.
I know, me too.
Because also, oh, sorry, go ahead.
We should do a little poll and see who, have people guess what they.
Yeah. Because I'm like, yes. I don't know if you. Well, I know that people know I like bright colors because I say that a lot. But then I've also did like the neutral. So I'm curious to see like, will I get a bright colored one or a more, I don't want to say calm, but I mean, the good thing is I pretty much liked almost all the options this time.
I know, me too. Like, there's 13 different options. There's one that I'm not super fond of. And if I get it, that's fine. We'll make it. We'll be happy with it. And you never know. I might fall in love with it. Like it was. I've said many times that I'm not a huge fan of florals, but some of the ones that I like the most this time around are the florals. So you never know. If the one that I don't think I like right now ends up on my doorstep, I may come out the other end thinking this is the greatest thing ever. And
yeah. The one that is not so appealing to me, I actually think would be my mom's top choice. So even if that one gets sent to me, I wouldn't be upset about it because I'm like, oh, I have the perfect person who would love it. So
which one is that? Just because now I'm curious.
The shipwrecked one, I think it's the very last option that has the beige and like a deep burgundy color.
Yeah, I think that's the same one for me. That's not.
Yeah,
that's the one. As I said, but if I get it, I'll happily make it, and we'll have some fun of it. And I might be like you. I might find someone. I'm sure I can find someone that would absolutely love it. So
exactly, that's the nice thing that there's like the quilts just come together so nicely. I feel like you can always find someone who will appreciate it.
Oh, for sure. I may get it and do because sometimes like you see the little cotton cut style of the fabric and stuff, and when you see the finished product, it looks different. So it's hard to see like what it's going to look like. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to pick for me. I'd hate. I'd hazard a guess. Like, if I have to guess right this minute, I'm thinking Black Pearl's probably a solid choice. They may give me a Batik because they know I like that. Um, like the Trident Medusa. I could see someone giving me Driftstone.
Triton would be cool because that I feel like is a different. You've done kind of a purple quilt before, but
Uh-huh.
Triton has different colors. That one almost has similar colorways to what I'm working on now with
I know, I
you.
was thinking that. Yeah. Yeah, Calypso's another option that they may give me, which is that brightly colored one. I don't know. It's really hard to say, but whatever it is, I'm gonna have fun with it. So you just never
Yeah.
know. And who knows, the person maybe whoever's got me is in the chat right now sitting there giggling to himself. Yeah, Sean, you're not even close.
That's so funny.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I've got no idea who has me. I'm really interested to see too if whoever got Ian picked Tula was forcing him out of his comfort zone.
Right, exactly. And I was also surprised that that wasn't one of the first ones to sell out because usually Tula's the first or one of the first to go.
I know. Yeah, me too. Like I didn't do it. Normally I do a pick. Like I sit there and try and predict what are the first three to sell out. And I don't get the trifecta, but I usually get like one or two of them at least, and usually in the
Yeah.
right order. But yeah, this time it like really threw me off. Like I would not have picked like there's three sold out right now. There's Atlantis, which is the Cafe Facet, and I know I'm butchering the name on that, but that's how it's going to be. The
Yeah, I don't know
Marina,
how to
which
pronounce
is
it either.
one of the but the blue and green Batik option, and then the Oasis, which is the Anna Green Gables. The Anna Green Gables does not surprise me one bit. That it was out the door.
Yes.
The Marina surprised me. I would not have picked that one, and I don't know that I would have picked Atlantis. I think I would have picked Lakeside
I would
as the
have
first one.
thought Sea Bloom too. I would have thought the bright colored because Sea Bloom is very close to like the Tula style too.
Yeah, but then sometimes the more floral stuff, like the shipwrecked and stuff, goes quickly too. In the past,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting. So we'll have to see how that all goes. All right, so we've had more people pop in. Looks like Zaza is here. Good afternoon. Laurie said, I think we said good morning to Laurie already. Good morning. Preps for Eternity Homestead. I forget your name. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. And then Stephen from Bland Designs and Idiot Quilter is here as well. Good morning to you. So I think we got everybody. Okay, so I better keep moving. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting here jabber-jawing and not do a single thing. And I've got a lot of work to get done. So if you want to see a blueberry by the end of this, I'm going to have to get some work done.
Yeah, I'm over here like I know that it doesn't really matter so much with the front and back, but I still will like you'll see me constantly flipping the pieces over trying to find the back side.
Hey, you're better than me. I just try and see what matches the rest of it because
Right.
you don't know where it's going to end up. So I'm not too concerned about like when I did the batiks. I wasn't so concerned about front and back. I was more concerned about does it look closer to the others on this side or that side, and that's the one I used.
That is true because this bright orange, I had a couple pieces where the orange lined up and it almost looked like two different colors because it must have came from different sections of the cut of the fabric.
Yeah. But then again, at the end of the day, too, it's it's only be one very small section. I just let it go because I was like, I'm going to sit here and stress over this, and then at the end of the day, it's not going to make a lick of difference. So
yeah,
I tried,
exactly.
but I didn't. I tried to make it match, but I don't stress over it because it's just not worth it.
Yeah, same here. It's so funny because I keep triple checking. I don't know why, but with this colorway, the orange fabric is fabric C and yellow is fabric D, and I keep reversing them. I think on every single month so far, I've accidentally like flopped those two colors.
You're not alone on that. I think C and D for me was the bane of my existence for Clue 4. Because I messed that up. Me and my mate Jack were very, very good friends. I think I had to rip out one section twice, and then I went into the sin bin for a while. And then there was another section I had to rip out. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, and what's funny is like they're not even similar colors. They're not even like like in the same shade or whatnot. I
oh,
don't know
okay.
why, but
Well, see, at least I can use that excuse because my C and D look very, very similar. Like if you,
yeah, I've only had that so far with my very first. I did. I can't remember the name of it in Village Green, but it had a lot of like green and turquoise colors, and I had to double check
uh,
quite a few times.
yeah, that was like my second choice, but I think you got on board before I did. So
Yeah, I love green. Green's my I love all colors, but if I had to pick one, green's my favorite. So
right, I can't remember the name of that now. Hang on a second, we can find out.
I
Puzzle
know.
Mystery Quilt
As
past.
as soon as I hear it, I'll know it, but off the top of my head, I
Yeah, I just
cannot
start.
think
It
of
was
it.
like that's not right.
So Donna's asking when we find out which PMQ we're getting. So I think all of us, it's when we actually get our box shipped to us. We won't know until we actually open it.
Correct. So it's supposed to start the 25th of July. I think they ship out their first flu or as close as they can to it. I mean, I would not, they may encounter some delays. Sometimes they have some delays here and there, but again, like if it does get delayed a little bit, it's a 10-month program and you'll catch up easily enough, thankfully. So I would normally what they try and do is get it out to us a week or so early. They'll at least send out the first clue to us. So I would say mid-July is when we would expect to see when our stuff comes out. So there's a bit of a wait. I'd say 6-7 weeks before we find out, so we can all sit here and ponder and guess and speculate and all that sort of stuff there. Yes, so we're not going to find out next week. A lot of times we do find out early, but because there's 6 of us participating in this, they have told the other ambassadors, like Donnell, for instance, that they're not going to find out what they have until it all. Otherwise, the cheaters will figure out what they have by process of elimination. Guilty as charged. I did that last time.
Yeah, I did too. I tried to match up. Okay, which colorways are left?
Yeah, because when Cotton Cuts picked it for me last time, I pretty much narrowed it down to like 4 or 5 different choices. So I had like a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right, and I still got it wrong. So, yeah, this time, no one will find out until their stuff shows up in the mail. So, like the ones that aren't participate.
Well,
Yeah,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think Andrea might be the 6th one.
I think it might have been her. I'm not 100% positive. Because I know the original email I had looked and there was only 4 of us. So I was really excited when we were told that more people were going to participate.
Yeah, she said that Beth and Ian might participate. And then all of a sudden it was 6. So I can't say for sure it's Ian and Beth, but I'm like 99% sure. So there you go. Let's see.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say what's exciting too is that even if the other ambassadors are not participating in the full mystery, we usually pick a top 3. So even they, it will be a somewhat of surprise which of their top 3 they'll get.
Yeah, because normally like we put in our picks and then we find out like 5-7 days later. So those folks normally would know by now or very close to it. So yeah, we've kind of made them all wait. But that's okay. I think it'll be fun.
Yes, I do too.
I think it'd be fun if we all did it next time, and that may be what they do next. If this works, they may just say to all the ambassadors, okay, well, this is part of the, who knows? Zaza says, I'd like to know how quilt looks before I commit to doing it. And that's a very good point, and,
Yes.
but I think that's the whole fun with the Puzzle Mystery Quilt is that you are giving up that control and you pick which fabrics you're going to use. But other than that, you don't know what the design is. And it's fun doing it that way, but it is not for everyone. So
true. Yeah, you have to kind of like surprises or at least be okay with your you know, your colorway choice, and just knowing that however it turns out, you'll be happy.
Yeah, and don't get disappointed like if you get the first clue and you put it together and you're not super fond of it, because like my first Puzzle Mystery Quilt that I purchased is so sweet in the Benet colorway. I love the colors that I picked. I got my first clue, I put it together, and I'm like, I don't know that I like this. But yeah, I'd already paid for it, and I'm like, well, you know, we'll just run this through and see what happens. And I got about halfway through, and I was like, you know, this might be okay. And then I got the final clue, and I was like, I really don't know about this. I was like, but I'll find someone to give it to. You know, I said, I've already got the fabric, I've already put it together, you know, all the clues together, and it'll be okay. I assemble it, I look at it, and I fall in love with it. So, you know, for me, it was like I just have to trust the process. You know, so don't get too disappointed if you buy it and you're disappointed. Clue one, just keep going with it. Get to the end, and then either you'll love it or you'll come back and go, Sean, you are an idiot and you don't know what you're talking about. And that's okay, you know, because it's not for everyone. So there you go. All right. So
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what I'm excited to see is in this colorway, there's a lot of those like diamond within a square, like the economy blocks. And so I'm really excited. Like I have all not solids, but because they're batiks, they don't really have like, you know, big prints. So I'm excited to see the colorways that have more of a big print, how that features.
I know it's going to be very interesting because it's very, very different to what we've seen in the past, which is good because yeah, we do 2 of these a year, and I think once you do a few of them, you know, you want to do something a little different. So it's really nice that Sheila, who does the designs for these, has come out with something, yeah, a little different for us this time around. So
right.
For a while there, I thought it was just going to be all those blocks and nothing else, but we're starting to see, you know, some what looks like star blocks and stuff like that as well. So
yes,
it's very, very interesting to see what the final design looks like, because we don't see that until, like, as ambassadors, we might see it like 3 or 4 weeks earlier, just enough time to
put it together.
Put it together, yeah. Some of us that are really quick and have long arms, I guess, can quilt it. And
yeah.
But that's not me. I'm usually struggling to put it together the night before the reveal.
That was me this past time.
Done that more than once. I was actually done like a week and a half early for the last one. I was actually quite proud of myself.
That's great.
But you're doing a large, I think, right?
Yes.
Yes, and that takes longer. I always ask for the small because I like the small size, and then I can also do like a little tutorial on how to put it together as well, because there's a few people that do the large tutorials, but I don't think there's really too many doing the small. So
the large for Tree of Life was really time consuming, I would say. Like there was some months you had 8 blocks or 8 sections to that, you know. But yeah, with Wild West, I don't think I did more than 4 blocks each month, maybe 5 at the most.
Okay.
And the way that it came together, the block sizes were much larger than Tree of Life. So it actually came together a lot quicker. And I think the way Flyway, the blocks that I've been making for this is going to be very similar.
Yes. Yeah, I thought the same thing too. I mean, obviously my tombstone came together quicker than the Tree of Life because I did a small rather than a large, but it did look like it was easier than previous ones. So I thought the large would be just bigger pieces and not more pieces. Yeah, it's the difference between the large and the small obviously is the size. The center part of the quilts are identical, but with the large, because it's a square, like 72 by 72, I think it is.
Yes.
Versus 48 by 60, it tends to have more borders. The sides of it will be different to the small. But the center of it, the main part of the quilts, is almost identical. But yet the pieces are not small. I remember I had someone ask me once if the small would be, like tiny pieces, and I was like, no, it's the same size pieces, thankfully. So
Right.
that's all. And I was like, that wasn't a question I would have thought of, but it was a great question to ask because I like tiny pieces, but not everybody.
Yeah. That, oh
Point
my gosh. They're
case
so
in point. So
cute.
that's my. I am using my Easy Press pen for this to see how that works.
What is it that you're using?
The Easy Press pen. It's got like starch in it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and it makes the seams a lot flatter than it does normally. And the nice thing about this is you can refill it. It's a where'd it go? I got a bottle of this stuff. Hopefully, I won't burn myself.
Oh,
So
that's
you get this
great.
little, you have this bottle that you fill up, and I've had this. I've been using it now. I've used it like 3 or 4 different projects, like full blocks, and I've used like the top half inch of this bottle.
Oh, that seems like a good deal then.
Yeah, so when you're only like if you're just using it for the seam, like you can spray it as well, which I don't really plan on doing. But if you're just using it for the seams, this goes a long way, which is nice because I don't want to spend a ton of money on starch if I don't have to, but it's really helping with the seams. So
That's good to know. I've never actually tried starching my quilt, but I haven't really done a whole ton where I've cut all the blocks or pieces myself, and the ones that I have been quite large. But
yeah,
it's funny, every time I think of starch, I just think of my grandma with ironing her dress clothes.
I know, right? I think the same thing. No, my friends John and Matt from Art East actually sent that down to me with as a gift just for me to try it out.
Oh,
And
that's
so I was
great.
like, yes, because I was like, I don't know if I would buy it for myself. So it was nice that they sent it down, and I've been playing with it now with some different blocks. And for the larger stuff, I probably won't worry about it too much because it is an extra step. It takes more time. But for the smaller stuff, it's well worth it.
Yeah, and that being in a pen makes it seem more convenient instead of having to come, like, a bottle or whatever and spraying it. And I can see how that would make it kind of quick.
Yeah, because all I want to do is it just helps push the seams down and make it flatter than it would otherwise. So, and I believe it makes a difference. There we go. All right, Rita just said she just finished making a bunch of 1 inch half square triangles. Oh goodness, they are so small. Yes, they are. I
Oh
have done
my
1 inch
gosh.
half square triangles a couple of times. They are an adventure.
It's a great way to put it.
Yes, I did that. It was like the fringe on the scarecrow block that I did a couple of year or two ago, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I was like, let me give it a try, and we'll see what happens. And lo and behold, it actually went together. Like it almost fell out of my chair when it actually worked. Good morning, Miss Laura Lynn from Mama Pop Quilt Shop. It is good to see you. She says, well, looky here, all the cool kids. Good morning. Well, now all the cool kids are here because you're here. So good morning to you. If you haven't checked out her channel, please do so. She should be live later on today. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. There's a silly bot decided wants to. Apparently, the bots don't wake up now till 9 o'clock. I didn't realize that the chat bots don't work in the morning, but I've had to work. I've tried Nightbot, I've tried Streamlabs, and none of them seem to kick up and work until, like, I'll see Donnell's. Yeah, everybody else's live seems for them to work, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing what it says to do, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. You're much more adventurous and knowledgeable about that.
And it's it is what it is. It's frustrating because I have everyone's links there, and all I have to do is, or someone has to do is type it in. But, one day it'll work, or I'll try a different one. I don't know, but I'm not going to sit there and mess with it now. So
right.
Okay, so what have you been up to recently, Anne? Because I haven't had a chance to talk to you a whole lot recently because you've been finishing up your school year. Are you on
Yeah, well,
vacation yet?
no. So because we're in New York, we don't start till after Labor Day, and we have a ton of holidays. So I think our last day is the 28th. We go right to the end of June. Our last school
Really?
day, yeah, it's always either the between the 26th and the 28th. I think it's the 28th this year. But yeah, May's a super busy month for me. I feel like it flew by between, well, the end of April, I did like a sewing class out in Southern Illinois. So I traveled for that. And then May has my birthday, my parents' anniversary, Mother's Day, home for Memorial Day. So I feel like I've been nonstop and not as much sewing. So I'm happy to be like not traveling anywhere this weekend and can actually work on some stuff.
Yeah, I had no idea you guys stayed like you finished started after Labor Day. I figured if you guys been so far north, you'd want to get an early start, because of all the snow. But then again, I guess up in New York, you guys don't close school when you get half an inch on the ground like we do.
Yeah, well, exactly. They're very well prepared. Like my mom in Connecticut gets out for school. She's a paraprofessional. I think it's June 13th this year. But what happens for us is that we celebrate all the holidays. So we celebrate a lot of the Jewish ones. They added in Lunar New Year and Eid this year. So by the time you put all the holidays in, to get the 180 school days, you're going quite long into June.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Yeah, we had like our city doesn't start until after Labor Day either. I think a lot of the others now have started like a week or two before because it used to be Virginia laws said you couldn't start till after Labor Day. So that way, like, because we have a lot of tourist areas like Virginia Beach,
Yes.
the historic
Yeah.
Triangle, unless you had a waiver, like the folks up in the mountains, they all start like beginning to mid-August. But yeah, that law went away about 5 or 6 years ago, and most of the school systems now start a week or two before, but we don't. So our girls will go through the 16th or whatever. I think they've got 2 or 3 weeks left.
Oh, all right.
So a
That's
little
great.
before you go. 1, 2, like 2.5 weeks. I think graduation for the seniors is like 2.5 weeks away. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
They're not graduating. I'm not going to the ceremony. I'm not upset about it one bit because
Is it a long
it's
one, or is your high school pretty big?
it is. It's like the school is like 2,500 kids, so it's like
Oh,
600 kids per grade. It's just
yeah.
it's inside a big arena and it's just loud. Like
Yes.
next time, if I ever go again, I'm taking headphones, like
Yes.
earmuffs, and some earplugs. Good gravy. It was. I wasn't warned about that. No one told me, Sean, you better take some earplugs. But
Yeah. It's like sensory overload.
oh, it was. It was. Oh my goodness. So and they tell you, I don't scream and holler for your kid, but no one listens. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it only happens once, so everyone's
Oh, sure.
excited.
Yeah, no, I get it. And it's like I was telling the girls, a couple of weeks ago, like we didn't have any sort of graduation ceremony when I went through school. So it's fun to see the kids have that because it's not something we had. They may have it now in Australia, but
Oh,
not
so you don't have like a diploma ceremony where you would walk across the stage when you graduated?
no. Our diploma got mailed to us, and you just waited by a mailbox, and one day it showed up.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was like we did our final exams, and then I walked away from that school building, and I didn't go back.
Huh.
There was some sort of fancy dinner you could go to, but that was just like a farewell. You can go
Yeah.
if you want, but it was like formal, and I was like, I'm not going to that. So yeah, no, we didn't do any. Yeah, there was no ceremony, no deployment. Yeah. They graded your exam. I guess if you got a good enough grade, they mailed you the diploma, and that was the end of it. Yeah, we got that in like middle of January, middle of January. I forget when it was because we finished in December.
Oh, right. I forgot that it's reversed. I always have to think about that with the seasons.
Yeah. So there you go. Good morning, Miss Donnell. It's good to see you. She'll be live a little later on at 10 o'clock, I believe. So you have any plans for the summer? Do you have any big adventures planned, or?
So in July, one of my friends is doing like it's a sewing, so it does have bags and clothes mostly. There are also a couple quilt things. It's called Sewcations, and she's hosting it in Las Vegas. So that's
Well,
the
that'd be
last
fun.
week of July. So I'm teaching 3 classes. I'm teaching basically a crossbody bag, which is my own pattern called the Winter Crescent bag. I'm teaching a friend's pattern called the Book Bestie, which is like a I guess we would classify it as a bag kind of, but it would be like you could put your book or a tablet inside, and then it has like a flap that folds over to protect it, and then a puff quilt pillowcase. So I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna turn it into a little mini vacation. So
Yeah, Vegas is. Have you been out there before?
I've been once back in 2019. We went with my parents. We spent I think it was like 4 days in Vegas, and then we drove and did 4 days or 3 days at the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
So
that's fun.
yeah, so we're gonna try to do the stuff that we didn't do last time, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I've only been out there once. We actually did it like as an extended stopover on the way back from Australia,
Oh, nice.
because I didn't feel like flying all the way from Sydney over here to Virginia. So
Oh
normally
yeah,
we
I don't blame you.
normally we stop in San Francisco because we like hanging out there and checking out the city and that. But we'd already been there a couple of times, and the hotel prices that particular year were just absolutely outrageous. And so
Yeah.
I just figured I just looked to see what else they, what other cities they had nearby that I could get, reasonably cheaply that we hadn't
Right.
been to before. And Vegas kept coming up. And so it was basically, for the same amount of money that I would have paid for a hotel in San Francisco, I could, cover the additional flight cost and the hotel in Vegas. So we
Yeah,
got to
that's
explore a new,
great.
and we figured we'd just explore the new city. And if we didn't like it, we weren't really out any money. So
Yeah. It's so fun. There's so much to do. So we did like the traditional. We went to Lake Mead and the Hoover Dam, and I'm very big into seeing all the national parks and stuff. And then we walk through like most of the casinos, and in Fremont Street they have a zip line. So
I've
I
seen
actually
I've
got
seen
my
pictures of
parents.
that.
Yeah, so I got my parents we zip line down. So that was fun. So this time we're gonna try to pick some different things we haven't done yet. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we didn't go out and see any of that stuff. Like we just stayed on the strip because we figured we were
Yeah.
only there for 36 hours. We're going to be jet lagged. So we
Right.
didn't want to commit to doing anything fancy like that. But yeah, I'd love to go back out there and go see like the Hoover Dam, Lake Mead, the
Yeah.
Grand Canyon, and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know when that'll happen.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's I also love being like outside and like naturey things, and I the Grand Canyon was just so incredible. Like you see pictures of it, but there really is like no words to describe seeing that in person.
Oh, I'm sure. I can just imagine. I mean, I've seen the second biggest canyon in the world, which is actually not far from my dad's hometown, and
Oh.
it's here. It's called Keepity Valley. Well, I've been told it's the second biggest one. It might be the biggest one in the southern hemisphere. Who knows? So don't quote me if I'm wrong. But it's like looking at. It's kind of like what I envision the Grand Canyon looking like, but it's all forested. So
Oh,
like
that's
all the
really
eucalyptus
cool.
trees and yeah. So that was a lot of fun. We got to see that a couple of times as kids. So that's probably I've seen the Grand Canyon from the air as we've flown over it, and a ton of times going back and forth. But
Yeah. That was my first time out west, and I had never been to like a desert like that. And it was so incredible. I felt like I was like in a whole different like world, literally. Especially
yeah,
growing up in New England, it's so different.
yeah. See, the desert to me is not. I enjoy looking at the desert, but it was kind of like, yeah, okay, now we're in the outback again. So
Yes.
I was just looking out for the kangaroos and the camels.
Oh,
See
that's
anything
so
missing?
funny. Yeah, when I
Good
just
morning,
went.
Charlotte.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying in the chat, let's see. Yeah, Charlotte says, good morning. Rita says, the Grand Canyon is best if you ride the mules, donkeys down to the bottom and go camping. Yeah, that sounds like, I'd like to do the whitewater rafting tours that they offer. It's like, 2
Yeah.
or 3 day trip. Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So
Donna's husband said it was a big hole.
and
That's
that's
really
apparently
funny.
And then Judy says Fremont Street's very educational. I saw things you'd never see anywhere else. I can imagine that. Yeah, I didn't make it down to Fremont Street, but I'd like to go and check that out. It looks like a lot of fun.
It's funny that like I had very different expectations of Las Vegas. I thought it was going to be much wilder than what I experienced. So it'll be interesting to see if how it is this second time around.
Yeah, for sure. No, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'll get out there again one day. I mean, I better save some pennies because it's not going to be cheap.
Right.
Because I'd also like to see a couple of the Cirque du Soleil shows while I'm out there.
Oh, yes. I've never been to one, but it's definitely on my bucket list because they just seem so incredible.
Oh, they are. We went to one here, like, because there was like sometimes they go on tour.
Yeah.
And we saw one locally here. Oh, geez, it would have had to been 10 or 15 years ago. I'm getting old. It was definitely well worth it. If one ever comes up there to New York area and you're interested in checking it out, I highly recommend it. Doesn't matter what show it is, just go see it, enjoy it, and then go from there. Good morning, John from Guys Craft 2. It's good to see you.
So when we went out in April to Southern Illinois, it was only like 15 minutes from St. Louis. So that was the first time. It was my first time seeing the Mississippi River. And we went up into the arch and went to like a Cardinals game. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that sounds neat. And it's funny you call it Southern Illinois because to me that's Central Illinois. But that's just my viewpoint.
Well, I guess I've been saying like the Southwest because at least here, if I say Illinois, most people think Chicago. So I was like, no, it's closer to St. Louis where we were.
Right. But I've also traveled pretty much the entire length of Illinois because I was out there with a friend many years ago in Chicago, and then we drove down to like the very, very southern tip of Illinois and went into Missouri a little bit, and then we went out to St. Louis as well. So, yeah. So to me, in my little brain, it feels like central.
Yes. Yeah. We didn't go to the very bottom, so it does make sense.
You didn't really miss a whole like if you like cornfields, going to Southern Illinois, you'll be great because you'll see more and more of that.
Well, I'm only laughing so hard because we decided to drive. So we went out through New Jersey, out through Pennsylvania, below Philly, and then Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. And I feel like once we got to a certain part in Ohio, I'm like, oh my God, I could just drive straight for 500 miles. And that's all it was just farms, endless farms.
Yep, that's about right.
And I grew up where there's a lot of dairy farms, but not so much like the big like agriculture or like crops. So it was kind of cool to see. I don't know if I'd want to make that drive, over and over, but to experience it once was fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I grew up in a country town. I think, we had a lot of different farms. I guess we had some dairy, a lot of chicken farms.
Yes.
And then, quite a few crops as well. So I guess, I just grew up, to me, farms is just like, okay, there's another one.
Yeah. What was surprising to me was how flat everything was. That was a shocker.
Well, I read in the book once, it said like in Iowa, Illinois, and that sort of thing there, like you can pretty much stand on 2 phone books and see everything.
Yeah, I believe it. And I've never been like to, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska. So if I thought that was flat, I can't even imagine like the prairie states.
Yeah, but I shouldn't joke them too much because it's no different to where I live right here in this part of Virginia. It's flat. Like if you want to go train for a running race or something in the hills, you have to find yourself a nice interstate overpass. There is one bridge that you can ride, run, walk over that's 160 some feet tall. So you can go train there, but that's about it for this area. If you want to go train the mountains, you got to go for a little drive.
Yeah.
And that almost, like I did a running race in Sydney once, what was it, back in 2013, and there was a big hill about 160 some feet high in the middle of it, and I trained for that, running over this bridge a couple of times. But it wasn't that killed me. It was the first 5 kilometers or so. It was all these rolling hills, and like to anybody else, it wasn't really that bad. But for me, my flatland tail,
right.
I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it the last 10 kilometers because these tiny hills are killing me. That was a fun event. Because she started off in downtown Sydney and ended up at Bondi Beach.
Oh, wow.
It's like one of the biggest runs in the world. Like there's like 90,000 people that participate in this.
Oh, wow. What would it be comparable to, like a 5K, like half marathon?
It was just under 10. It's just under 10 miles. It was a 14K.
Oh, wow.
So it was just under 10 miles.
That's awesome. I'm not a runner. Like I don't mind being like active outdoors. Like I enjoy hiking and stuff, but running and I were never friends.
Well, a lot of people walk it. Like my dad and stepmom this year, I did it. They signed up for it as well, and they just walked the whole thing.
Oh, that's great then.
Yeah, it's not like the Boston Marathon where you have to.
Yeah. Or that's what I'm thinking of. Like even here in New York, you go through all 5 boroughs and stuff, and gotta qualify with time and everything.
Or getting the lottery and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that. I think it'd be fun to do the New York Marathon one day. First of all, I've never run a marathon. I've done a half. I think it'd be fun to do a marathon once, but I'd have to start training for that now.
Yeah.
It's
so much dedication.
That might be my 50th birthday present to myself, I've got a few years left to qualify for that.
That would actually be really cool. That would be a great accomplishment.
Yeah. Well, there's one here. It's fairly local that would be fun to do because you kind of start at it's all in one city, but you start at one end of the city and end up at the other.
Oh, okay.
And I prefer those sort of races because, like, instead of just like going around the circle, you actually get to see a lot more. Like the New York Marathon's kind of like that too. Like you start off at Staten Island, I think it is, and you run across that.
Yes, all the bridges. Yeah, the Verrazano. Yes.
I can't pronounce it. I figured I'll let you do it since you're the local.
Yeah, you go over all the different bridges. It is neat that to see everything. It's so funny because like I just think of it as when I'm driving and then I see the signs. It's like coming Sunday, like marathon, routes change. They do like the bike tour. I think the bike would be. I think they call it the 5-borough bike tour.
Yeah, the 5-borough bike tour. I've looked at that. One of these days I'm going to do that because I mean I could do the bike tour fairly easily. That would be fun. And I think as long as I think you can pretty much get into that without too much hassle.
Yeah, I'm not sure the requirements, but I mean that to me would be way more doable for me than the marathon.
I think you just sign up. I don't think there's a waiting list or anything for that yet, but I wouldn't wait too many more years because I'm sure you'll have to start applying for that too, like a lottery or something. Good morning, Jess. It's good to see you. I think I said good morning to Jamie from the Quilting Compound. Zaza says it's cattle, sheep, and crops around us. Thankfully, no chicken or pig farms. Yeah, I don't think we had a lot of pig farms in our area.
Yeah, there's none where I grew up either.
Yeah, chicken farms, all you ever see, is just the chicken houses. So you don't really ever see them or smell them or anything else like that.
Right, yes.
Yeah, I think the last time I went to a chicken farm, I got yelled at. So, well, my best friend in high school, his dad owned a florist shop, and sometimes like I do deliveries and stuff, and I was sent out to this chicken farm, and apparently I missed the part where you had to like rinse your car tires when you came onto the property, like to stop the like chicken influenza or whatever
Oh,
it was. And
yeah.
yeah, whoever it was, like they saw me and they started screaming and yelling at me, and I'm like, I didn't see a little sign there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I know now that.
Right.
Yeah, they were not pleased with me one bit. So yeah, if you ever go onto a chicken farm, make sure you read the signs and wash your car tires before you go any further. Public service announcements. Good morning, Miss Nikki. It's good to see you. I'm actually making some progress with this. This is amazing.
That's great.
Got to make a total of 5 of these little blueberries. I'm working on 2 at the moment, and we might get some of them done. All right, what are we doing? Okay, we're attaching those, and then that's the part that I messed up last time. Okay. So what is everyone else in the chat working on today? Are you guys working on or planning on working on any sort of project this week? I'd love to hear what you guys are working on. If you've had your breakfast, let me know what you had for breakfast this morning. I haven't had anything because I was too lazy to make anything. Of course, I think I need to go to the store. Always having to go to the store.
I had an apple turnover. They added I don't know if they have them near you yet, a Lidl or Lidl.
Lidl, yes.
Yeah. They just put one in near us, and it's like my new favorite grocery store. And they have a
Really?
bakery section, and it's delicious.
Yeah, Lidl's, it's a German supermarket, and
Yes.
we've had them here for a while. I think the one near me we've had for at least, it had to be 10 years, if close to 10 years, if not more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
Interesting.
Aldi's for a while, but not the Lidl, and I love going there.
Yeah, they have some really, really good stuff. I don't go down there very often because it's kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
But I took Eva there not long after she got here because she's German. I was like, hey, do you recognize this place? Judy says she's going to work on her Wild West quilt, finish it up, hopefully. It's good. Yeah, I need to go get some backing fabric for mine.
Yeah, same here. My sister loved it, so I think I'm going to give it to her and the kids. Oh.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish the other one, Tree of Life, that you're going to make for your bed?
I still have to figure out the backing that I want to do for it. Because my struggle is I really like comforters, so I like thick blankets. So
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to back it with that would be, I don't know if you can compare it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Although I went to a local quilt show, when was it? Beginning of April maybe, or beginning of May, and I was feeling some of the different fabrics. I'm trying to think, lawn, I think it was, LAWN, and it was super soft. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I got some fabric in that style, it would work. Because I feel like the cotton to me isn't as soft as I want it.
Yeah, that could work. Then there's always like that, what is it, minky or whatever it is? Or
Oh, I love minky. Yes. I just don't know if it would be too hot is the only thing. But my puff quilt that I made, I backed with minky. I use that on the couch all the time.
Yeah, I haven't worked with minky in a while, but I've done it. I've used it on a couple of quilts in the past. I think, yeah, the puff quilts is probably the ones I'm thinking of. To be honest, I made a couple of those. So Annette's working on Flyaway. Kathy with Yoga and Quilts, good morning. She says I had loaded oatmeal and 2 cups of coffee for breakfast. Okay, yeah, I did have my coffee for my breakfast. So yeah, that's it.
Yes. Me too.
A lot of times I don't. Yeah, I usually don't mess with. A lot of times I don't have breakfast. So I don't know why. I guess I'm just lazy.
Yeah.
Nikki says she's having coffee, yogurt, and a bagel. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll probably go to the store after this and go get something. I've got to get stuff for lunch. Anyway, I've got to take the kids out.
I'm not usually awake for breakfast. I think the earliest I wake up is when I come on lives with you.
It used to be a recurring theme. Like a lot of the folks that I have on are not morning people, but they're more than happy to come up and join me, which I'm very flattered by. So thank you for that.
I mean, I have to wake up for, the school week, like, being a teacher and stuff. So it's not like a huge deal, but my preference is always sleeping in. But I always love coming on lives. We have a good time, so.
Thank you. I just can't seem to sleep in. Like was it last Sunday I was going to sleep in, and like 6 o'clock, rolled around. I'm like, yep, time to get up. So yeah. I'm just crazy. All right, Zaza says cotton lawn is beautiful to sew with, and depending on the thread count, can be very strong and hard wearing. Okay, so
that's good to know. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Zaza knows what this is. I've never heard of it before, so I'm learning new stuff today. Dragonfly Donna is asking what is loaded oatmeal. I have no clue, but hopefully someone can tell me. And I'm asking my friend. I'm figuring it's just got like nuts and let's see.
Berries.
How to make loaded oats. Oats water, chia seed pudding, yogurt and berries.
Oh, it's like overnight oats.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you just add a bunch of stuff to it. Okay. That's what I was figuring. It was like loaded baked potatoes. You just add all the stuff. So I'm always learning new stuff when I come on live. So this is good. Did I put stuff on this? I think so. Good morning, Miss Percy. It's good to see you. I think she's off to go to a class to make a duffel bag, if I remember correctly.
Oh, fun.
I know. It's just like I heard about that and I was like, that'd be fun. Like, I'd love to make my own own duffel bag for like when we go on overnight trips and stuff. Like, that'd be so neat to have something that's like mine.
Yeah. I did one. I actually have it right behind me, so I can grab it off. Actually, the designer is from Australia, and it's super cool. It has like this zipper here, and if you zip it, it actually, I won't zip the whole thing because it's kind of a pain, but it basically folds up flat so that if you're storing it in like your luggage or whatnot, it only takes up the size of, this is the side panel. So it folds down to that size. But it's a pretty good size for like a couple nights.
Yeah, because I don't need very much. I usually just throw in like, a few things here and there. You might send me the is it beginner friendly? Like, because I'm not a bag maker.
I think you could definitely do it. My only thing is that in the pattern, she gives pattern pieces and she gives measurements. I recommend cutting it on the measurements, except for like the rounded pieces, only because some of the pieces with my printer, I have an HP that has like wider margins, so some of the pattern pieces got cut off. So I had to print it as like a poster. So yeah, my only recommendation would be to use the cutting chart, but yeah, I think you could definitely do it.
Okay. Yeah, it might be fun for me to do.
Yeah, you don't have to interface it or anything because it's made to like zip up, so it's not thick or anything like that, which is nice.
Yeah, no, I might have to look into doing that at some point because I was like, that'd be a lot of fun, like having,
Yeah, it's really
always nice to have your own stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Because my luggage, like my big suitcases, they're bright. Like one of them is bright orange, one is bright blue. Because like when I fly to Australia or wherever, I don't want to be sitting there on the carousel having to look at every second black bag coming down the carousel to see if it's mine. Like when mine comes down, you see it. It's like bright orange with like Hawaiian orchids on it. Like it's mine.
Right.
There was one time I was walking through. We were coming out of customs in San Francisco, and a couple of the border officers called me over to them. I'm like, okay, well, I guess they want to do a secondary inspection. And they're like, we want to see your bags. I was like, okay, which one do you want me to open first? And they're like, no, we just want to see like the print on it. Oh, like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's really funny.
They're like, it's just really neat. We haven't seen that before. Like, yeah, sure, take a look. I don't care. Like, what am I going to do? Say no?
Right, especially to them, yeah.
No, I was just, yeah. I just thought it was fun, though. So, good morning, Miss Patty. It's good to see you. And good morning, Miss Becca. It's always good to see my friend Becca hop on. If you haven't seen her, you know, everyone knows Becca, but if you haven't, yeah, definitely go check her out, her channel out, because it's always a lot of fun. I think anyone that's been here more than 20 minutes knows Becca pretty well. Tornado warnings last night. Yeah, I'm not sure about Becca if she got any. I know we did, but nothing really. I think we got a little bit of rain out of it, but that was about it. So
it's so terrifying. Like, I was really worried about that driving out to Missouri and Illinois with the tornadoes, because we do not get them up here. I was like, what do I do?
Go to an interior room on the lowest level and just we get tornadoes here occasionally. We don't, you know, we don't get anything terrible like an F1 or an F2 or whatever it is. I think it's on a scale of 5 or 6. Like, we don't get them like they do out there in the Midwest, thankfully. But I remember there was one night there was a bunch of warnings coming out. It was the middle of the night, and I'm just like, you know what? If the tornado comes through and rips my house down, it was my time.
Right.
I went back to sleep. I was like, I'm not messing with this tonight.
Yeah, I was like, I know what to do in blizzards. I know what to do in hurricanes. Although when I lived in Florida, there wasn't really tornadoes where I was, but I'm like, all right, I know what to do in these other things, but with a tornado, I'm terrified.
Really?
But I mean, thankfully it worked out really well. None happened while we were out there.
Well, that's interesting, because like when I went down to Alabama, like Birmingham, which is like in the center of the state, they had like tornado sirens and all that sort of stuff there, and I was like, yep. I was like, this would be a nice place to live until I hear about the tornado sirens, and I'm like, yep, if you guys have tornado sirens, that is not a place for Sean to live.
Yeah, exactly. It was so, I mean, not funny, but like, so we went to a Yankees game and they used like a tornado siren as part of their, like, when they, I don't know if it was like they hit a home run or something, I don't know, but I'm like, I wonder how many people come here and think it's like a real emergency. And then we went to St. Louis, went to the Cardinals game, and they had like legit signs that were like, in case of severe weather, this is like your storm shelter. And it was just like the irony of the two different areas using it.
No, not for me. Kathy says a tornado hit her college campus in 2006. I know Amanda, my wife, she saw a tornado once when she was coming out of the gym out next town over, and she saw a tornado, and I'm like, I'm glad it wasn't me. We didn't even know. Like, and I was at work that day, and like I used to work in a trailer at that point, so there was no protection for us. And yeah, we didn't even know about the tornado until it had passed. Like it passed, I think it went past us. What a storm did, like 10 miles to the north.
Oh,
so it didn't even come close to us. But I was like, yeah, no, we have no warning. If the tornado was coming down your street, you wouldn't know about it till it hit you. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I think it's the same way here. I don't think we have any sirens.
I don't think, unless you have enough of them, I wouldn't think you would. I think we're too far north to require them.
Right.
So we just get the alerts on our phones that says the warning of the watch or whatever. I can't remember which one's which.
Yes.
So, all right. Nikki B says we have a saying in Missouri, don't sleep naked in tornado season. That's probably very, very good advice.
Yeah. That's funny.
That says you truly don't want to be caught naked in a tornado. No. Oh, geez. You never know what you're going to come into when you come to one of our lives. And like even like during tornado season, like flying cross country can be a little hairy because I did that once.
Oh, because you have to fly above the storms, right?
Well, I tried that, We went from it was from Los Angeles to DC. So you basically go straight across the middle of the country.
Yeah.
And it was that rough that the flight attendants were seated for 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And they actually took us up to the Canadian border. Like we were flying between North Dakota and the Canadian border, and we flew across that, like, for whatever that parallel is, all the way up to upstate New York, and came down through New York, Philly, and landed in Washington that way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a wild day. Like I was saying at the airport, like there's one day of the year you do not want to fly, and that just happened to be the day that my
that you were flying.
That my happy tail happened to land.
Yeah.
Was that the one there? I'm trying to remember if that was the time that one of the air conditioning units wasn't working on the plane or something.
Oh my gosh.
Hang on. No, it was getting ready to back out. And I saw this big puff of smoke come out the back of the engine. And I was like, that's not normal. This is not a diesel engine. I wonder if that's a problem. And then all of a sudden, the captain comes on and it's like, yeah, we're not going anywhere for a while.
Oh my gosh. I would have been panicking if I saw that.
I was so tired and jet lagged. I was like, whatever. They'll fix it. Like, the pilot don't want to die. No, they fixed it pretty quickly. Like, because they told us, if you get off the plane, you can get off the plane if you want, but if you get off, you're not getting back on. Like, you have to go find a different flight. And the dude next to me is like, what do you think I should do? And I'm like, well, they said 45 minutes to fix it. By the time you get off the plane and go find another flight, we'll be backing out the gate and going down the taxiway. So my suggestion is you stay right where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're at a hub, so they've got all the maintenance people and everything else. If you're out there in Bismarck or something like that where there's no maintenance place, then you might want to go look for a different flight.
Oh, that's carrier. A good point.
But they'd already given us the repair time and they'd already had the maintenance people over there looking at it. So I was just like, why would you get up and go somewhere else?
Right. That makes sense.
No, I think that was the same flight where the crazy woman was screaming and yelling, like, as we're taxiing out, we're all going to die and stuff because she was worried about the thing not working. I was, please just sit down.
Oh my gosh, I would have had a panic attack hearing that.
I was like, I've already been traveling for 20 hours. I don't need you to
Right, that's the last thing.
I was like, I'll open the door and let you out if you want.
The only time
they would not leave if they didn't think it was safe.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah, the only time I really flew in like severe weather was back in 2005. I was doing a college semester in London, and I came back in December, and it was like a huge blizzard. So we had to circle above the Boston airport for a while, and it was like a pretty hairy landing. I think we were the very first plane that was approved to like start landing in Boston.
Oh.
And then it's like an hour and a half drive to my parents' house, and their window of the car, the motor died. So then not only was it like a crazy flight, but then the window got stuck down. So we were like an hour and a half with the window freezing.
Oh, geez. That'd be rough.
Yeah, we laugh about it now.
Exactly. And that says here you can always land on one engine. Takeoff is a little tricky, though, if at all. Yes. I mean, I don't know. She was just freaked out. And I was, I wasn't happy. I was just like, please, come on. Like, we're already delayed by an hour and some change. The pilot doesn't want to die. Like, just sit down, be quiet, and we'll
right.
get it. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, nice. Susan said no more shop hop trips. It ends today, and I visited over half of the shops. Huge distance in the eastern parts of Washington and Oregon between shops. Yeah, there's one in the Mid-Atlantic that they start up. I think it starts like June or July. I might go check them out. More of the local shops here in this area. I think last year was their first time that they did it. This time around, they got some more of the local shops participating. So I don't know that I'll drive all over the place, like to Maryland and West Virginia and stuff, but I might check out some of the stuff close by.
Yeah, the New York one is going on right now. It's May, June, and same thing. There's some in like the southern area that I definitely want to check out, but I mean, going all the way out to Niagara Falls would be kind of far, like a 10-hour drive. So
yeah, but you could always go across the border and see it from the Canadian side.
this is true. Yeah, turn it into a little vacation. I haven't seen it, so I would like to do that.
You definitely have to take your passport with you. It's so much better on the Canadian side. I've been over there. So it's July and August for the Mid-Atlantic is what Becca's telling me. Okay, I knew it was like June, July. So I couldn't remember. So I knew it was soon. Good evening, Miss Jan. It's good to see you. Kathy says she prefers to stay on land. Yeah, I haven't flown. I think the last time I went on a plane was 2017.
Yeah, I haven't flown in a while either.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's just so miserable now because, you know, it's okay if you're 5'2", and you can sit in those little tiny seats, but when you're 6'5" and you can't afford first class.
Yeah. Yeah, my boyfriend and I have the same struggle because I am literally 5'2", but he's 6'3", so.
Yeah, he has the same struggle that I do. I remember you told me that, so that's why I was like, there was one woman that on the flight from the West Coast to Australia, and she was probably like 5'2" or something like that, and she's all curled up in her seat.
Yeah.
I was like, part of me wants to kick you because I'm jealous, but then I'm also happy for you because you can actually do that. So
yes. It's also the opposite problem. I have this problem all the time where like my legs aren't long enough to sit like flat always on the chair. So then I'd have to like, move forward a little bit. That happens all the time, like on the subway. Yeah. So
yeah, there's pros and cons for both. I don't have to worry about, when I go to the grocery store, if there's something on the very top shelf at the back, I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'll just go grab it. Whereas, the shorter folks, they really struggle. So, there's pros and cons on both of those. So Polly says 30 years ago, I was flying from Orlando to Vegas, took off, immediately landed in Tampa. There was an electrical fire in the first-class bathroom. Question if it was safe to fly.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that would be interesting. All right, so let's see. Someone said good morning from Canada earlier, and I forgot to say hi to them. Kerry, good morning to you. And Citrus to Jackie, good morning to you as well. Kerry says I'm 5'6" and I don't fit well. Okay, well, I'm glad to know it's not just me. So there you go. Yes, so Susan says the one here was in April and May, covered shops all over Washington and Oregon, found some wonderful shops. Annette says when you finally do fly first class, you'll never go back to coach again. I think that's my fear. Like I flew business class once from here to New York with AirTran back in the day because it was like by the time I paid for baggage and that was like $10 more. So I was like, why not? But yeah, right. It was hard going back to coach after that. That I'd love to fly business or first class to Australia, but those tickets cost every bit of $12,000. So.
Wow. I could not imagine.
I just don't know if I can justify that sort of money, even if I had it.
Yeah. I think I would have to have like a lot of money to feel okay to spend that. Like, you can do a lot on vacation with that.
I know, right? But I do book the economy, what they call economy plus or the premium economy, because it does give you like it's like 4 or 5 inches of extra leg room, which does not sound like much, but
it does make a difference.
It makes the absolute world of difference. So yeah, Muriel says if I can't reach the top shelf, I just bat my big green eyes at the nearest employee to reach it for me. Works like a charm. That is definitely ask for help. Please, service announcement. If you're short and you attempted to climb the shelves to get the stuff down, please don't. I know how those things are built. They are not designed to support your weight. Even if you only weigh 80 pounds, please don't do it. come find me. I'll get it down for you. If I see someone struggling or they're short and they're looking at the top shelf, I just go ahead and ask them, hey, would you like me to get, is there anything I can get down for you? And a lot of times
Jason
they'll
does
be like,
the same.
yes. Yeah. And people ask me all the time, hey, would you mind getting this down? Not a problem. You know, it's not your fault that you weren't built to reach the top shelf. You know, just ask. Don't be afraid to ask the tall people. They're used to it. We don't mind for the most part. And if they do, just wish them the best. They may not be having a good day, but yeah, most of us will be more than happy to help you out. So yeah, please don't climb the shelves. I yelled at some lady once. I was like, please get down. So I was worried that something was going to come down and kill her.
Fall on them, yeah.
Yeah, just tell me what you want. Let's see. Nikki says, you should have seen me trying to get a carry-on bags out of the overhead compartment. I had to jump up and down to try and grab them. The guy behind me had to help me. Yeah, I do the same thing. Like, yeah, if someone's struggling, with that, I'll just automatically ask him. I have no shame in that.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, Muriel says, I'm not short 5'7", but some of the shelves are tall. Yeah, some of them I struggle to get to the, to reach to the back on the top, and I'm fairly tall, so.
It's funny when we come home and put groceries away, I always like put things on the bottom and Jason puts them on the top shelf. And then I forget that they're there because I literally can't see them.
Right.
Or like I'll have like snacks for work and he'll put them on the top shelf and we joke and I'm like, how am I supposed to get my lunch packed?
Right.
Me climbing on the counter.
A nice little step stool.
Yeah.
Get like one of them big bright orange ones like they have at the stores. Those things are fantastic. Because they won't fall over.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for hanging out with us, Annette. She said she has to go. We're getting fairly close to the end of the live anyway. Time's flying.
Yes.
I don't think I'm going to get my blueberries done in time, but that's okay. Where did my scissors go? The little ones. They disappeared. I'll have to go get another pair.
Oh. Do you prefer using scissors or like the little squeezy snips?
I have a pair of embroidery scissors that someone gifted me. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, that's what I use too. That's my preference, like the little stork ones or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. Stephanie from Stephanie Stitches sent this to me when I ordered something from a website a few years ago.
Nice.
She just had some she just thought I could use it. And they've been absolutely fantastic. So if something ever happens to those, I'll go ahead and buy another pair. But yeah, they're really good for snips and that sort of thing. Now, I keep forgetting sometimes that we have the thread cut function on the sewing machine.
Oh, okay. You're happy with your purchase?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Never not be disappointed, it's very happy with what I got. So
I really like the color of it too. Did it come in different colors or that just happened to be what it was?
This is the color it came with. Like the color was a bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that it's green or turquoise or aqua, whatever you want to call it. So no, it's an absolutely fantastic machine. Yeah, a lot of the Fark machines do have fun colors, like which is nice.
Right, add a little bit to it, your personality.
Yeah. Because I don't know why someone hasn't come up with this idea yet, but it'd be nice to have sewing machines in different colors or have like a skin where you can like put it on.
So in the bag making world, a lot of people sew on industrial machines. And there's one company called Sunny Sewing out of Texas, and they just started doing that. They offer, I think it's like 5 or 6 different colors. Like the machine is like that beige whitish color, but there's certain plates that they'll paint for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like you could like have a skin like just kind of peel off and then.
Oh yeah, like that would be cool too.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Because that way, all you have to do is print it out on a sheet of paper. You know, get special paper, and then you tell them what machine you have, and they just have the templates. And I don't know. Maybe I need to start my own company, but I don't know. I don't
I
have
mean, that's a great idea.
they don't have the technical know-how or the money to start that sort of stuff there. So yeah, if you're waiting for me to do it, I'll be waiting a long time. Susan says one of her machines is red. I would love a red machine, but yeah, it was funny. Like it wasn't a deal breaker for me, but I did want a fun color if I could for this because I thought it'd be fun to, you know, for me to look at every day, and also on camera, I thought it'd be nice to have a fun
Yeah,
color. And then, but
it
if
just
the
worked out.
plain white machine or a plain black machine was the one that I liked the most, it would not have been. It wouldn't have been a deal breaker for me. Yeah, Andy
Right.
says that that's what stickers are for. I love the fun accents on people's machine. That was kind of my thing too. I was like, I can always put a bunch of stickers on it. So yeah, like on this, I have the guy who sews logo, and then on the side, I have a couple of dog ones as a. I've got one of the dachshund that looks like a hot dog, and then the beagle as well. So yeah, I decorate mine with stickers.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that. I have more of like the sticker anxiety where I'm like, well, what if I want to move that sticker or change it? So I have a big stack of stickers.
A lot of them actually do move because like I had a really neat one that's actually on the front of the machine. That was on the Brother machine. Like I put it on there. It was one of the ones from Art East that had Alice in Wonderland. It says it's always quilt time.
Oh,
And
cool.
I was like, I'm gonna lose that. And I was really, really, a little sad about that. But I was like, let me see if I can peel this sucker off and see if I can transfer it. Just see what happens. And it peeled off, and it's actually on the machine. I stuck it on there. It's been on there now 4 months, I think.
Oh, that's great then.
I've had this thing. April, no, 2 months. Okay, so not quite that, but it's stuck. It's not moving. So I think depending on the sticker, it may actually be out. I wouldn't transfer it 50 times, but if you have to move it once or twice, I think you'll
It
be
might
okay.
actually work. That's great. I know a lot of them
Yeah,
are made out of like the vinyl and stuff now, so there's probably a lot better quality.
yeah. So there you go. All right. So if Kitty is spoiled, yeah, people are helpful. I had a young girl in the gym locker room. I had to ask a young girl in the gym locker room to open my combo lockers. I put my glasses in the locker when I went from a swim. Oopsie. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I just find if you ask, most people are helpful. So we've got that. I'm not going to get my blueberry done this morning, but that's okay.
You've made good progress with it though.
I know we'll get close. You'll have to come back. You'll have to come back tomorrow, see my podcast, and
Yes.
see the progress.
I'm excited. I'm just putting the last. I have the 3 blocks making one long strip, but I'm happy because May has been so busy that I haven't done the lives on Tuesday the whole month, which is what I've been doing to try to keep up with the Puzzle Mystery Quilt each month. So this
Yeah,
is great. I'm so excited you asked me to join today.
yeah. I'm glad you're able to because I think we've tried a couple of times. I think I had to cancel on you once because we took the girls somewhere.
Yeah, that's always
DC,
a
I
good
think.
reason though.
Yeah, I think we took them to DC that weekend. And they enjoyed themselves up there. We don't have them much longer. I think we've only got in front of us 3.5 weeks, and then they will head home, and then we'll be empty nesters for a couple of months, and then we'll have the next one come in late
Nice.
August.
Are you getting 2 again or?
Right now, it's just one.
Oh, okay.
We had looked at a second one. We'd actually picked a second girl, but our school system only allows a certain number of exchange students, and by the time we found the second one, they were already full. So unless something changes, we'll probably just have one, and that'll be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is so excited. We
Nice.
chat with her on WhatsApp all the time, and yeah, she's just yeah, over the moon. She's ready for us to be here and come over and hang out with us and go to
Fun.
school and all that sort of stuff there. So
Where is she from?
Belgium.
Oh, nice.
So she'll be our 8th student, and they'll all be from different countries. We have not repeated one yet.
Oh, that's even cooler.
I know. Like, we figured we're going to repeat at some point, but
Yeah. My sister did a year, her birthday's in December, so she qualified age-wise where she could graduate and then do another year in high school. So she actually did an exchange year in Switzerland.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times it's like a gap year, like they have to go back and repeat whatever, like if they
Yes.
come over to us, like so they finish 11th grade and they come over and do 12th grade here, they'll go back and do 12th grade again in their home school. So
Yeah, that's what happened with my friend in high school. She did she went to Slovakia and she was a year ahead of me, so she ended up graduating in my class. But I think that was the only downside that kept me from doing it is I really didn't want to have to repeat
do
another
another
year.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, it's a big ask. Yeah, I think all of them have repeated. I don't think, except Daria. I think Macedonia accepted the school year here.
Well, that'd be great.
Yes, Marty says I need an Aussie. I've already asked about that. That's not likely to happen, unfortunately, because with the program that we're associated with, a lot of the exchange programs for high school, they want the kids to have English as a second or third or fourth or fifth language, not a first language. So the chances of me getting an Australian student here is very, very low. If they had a college exchange, well, we could probably do college, I suppose, but usually the kids just go to college and stay there. They wouldn't come and hang out with us. So yeah, absolutely. If there was ever an Australian kid on the list, I would snap them up in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, that's not something that's ever likely to happen. But yeah, I did make that inquiry. Great suggestion. I love it. Let's see. Yeah, my daughter was supposed to do an exchange year in Italy, and then COVID hit. We had to cancel it. We didn't want her stuck in Italy. Yeah,
What a bummer.
that was an interesting time. Our first exchange student was here when COVID hit, and she had the choice of going home in March, like when all the shutdown started, or staying here for the rest of the year. And she stayed with us. And they normally go home like mid-June. We had her until like the 10th of July, I think it was. She was finally able to go home.
Oh wow. That's nice she stayed with you though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We had fun. And her parents were like, "Are you okay with this?" We're like, "Yeah, if she has to stay until September, October, whatever, like, she always has a bed here. We'll feed her, don't worry about it. Because everybody wanted her to stay. So yeah, we had her. She's probably the only kid we'll ever have that got to spend July 4th with us.
Oh, that must have been so neat for her.
Oh yeah, she loved that. She said that's like one of her highlights, that she got to experience that, because they have to go home, like their visa expires 2 weeks after the last day of school.
Oh,
so
okay.
They're never here long enough to. Well, I suppose if they go to New York, they could.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only a couple days.
Yeah, so yeah, like if someone in your area had one, then yeah, they could stay for July 4th. But other than that, no, because there you go. Yeah, we speak Aussie, not English. That's true, Jan, but I don't know. I don't make the rules. But yeah, I can assure you, if they ever have an Australian one on the list, they'll be coming here. So bring plenty of Vegemite with them. All right. Okay, so Carrie says, volunteer as tribute to watch tomorrow's mural. Thank you for that. Just draw my binding ends without twisting them for the first time ever. Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's always a challenge. I used to struggle with that too. And I finally figured out how to do it. One of these, yeah, you finally get it to click one day, and then you really don't have the problem ever again. So it's good to hear that you should be there as well. Okay, so it is 9:30, and I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up so that way we can all go get a cup of coffee, a bagel, a muffin, I don't know, a slice of cheese, whatever floats your boat, and you can all go over and hang out with Miss Donnell at 10, and then I think Russ is back in action at 11 because he's been up there vacationing with his family in Massachusetts for the last few weeks.
Oh, fun.
Not far from you.
Yeah, and, not at all.
Yeah, and then Mum and Pop Quilt Shop will be live later on at 1. I think Katie over at Greenland Quilt will be live at 4. Stephanie at 5, and then there's a bunch of others. So there you go. Yeah, Vegemite and Tim Tams. Yes, those things are both amazing. Especially everyone would like, anyone that likes chocolate would love Tim Tams. They're an Australian cookie. It's a chocolate coated cookie. You can find them in certain places here in the US. I've seen them at Wegmans, which is some places here on the East Coast. And then Amazon has them as well, but they're not cheap, unfortunately. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to try them, definitely do so. Vegemite is an acquired taste. So unless you like salty stuff, you might want to stick away from that. But yeah, there we go. Do you have anything fun coming up on your channel that you'd like to talk about before we all sign off and wander off?
I think the next thing is I think it's June 22nd. We do like a monthly sewing along on a whole bunch of channels picking a bag. So if anyone is interested in bag making, I actually have a pattern. It's called the Eileen Pool Tote. So there's going to be a whole bunch of YouTubers that generally make bags making them. So I'll have that as a premiere. So it'll be live in the chat. So if anyone wants to join, those are always fun. I think that's off the top of my head, that's the thing.
Yeah, those things are fun, and I think we need to do something like that with the quilting world at some point.
Yeah.
You know, because I often see the notification for you when you do those premieres, and I usually try and tune in when I can and say hi, and they're always fun to watch. So yeah, if you get a chance, definitely go over and check those out because they are a lot of fun.
Yeah, so, it's cool because we all sew it a little bit. A lot of times we're doing the same pattern, but everybody sews it a little bit different. So it's nice to see. You'll find maybe someone that appeals to your style or whatnot. So.
Oh yeah, because we all learn differently. So yeah, definitely check that out. So go over to Amber's channel. Let me grab that real quick because
it also worked out perfect. I sewed my last seam, so I got my whole month 4 done now.
Oh, nice. Okay. Just throw your link in real quick. Yep. So I'll be back tomorrow with my podcast because I missed it last week because I was
gosh, it's so tiny.
Yeah, and then I still got to cut the stuff around the edge. So you come back tomorrow and you'll see more progress on that. But we are making progress. I haven't goofed it up yet, I don't think. No, it looks good. Okay, good job, Sean. Okay, you didn't goof it up this time. So there you go. Hey, it was a mess. So, all right, Muriel says she doesn't buy store-bought purses. I make them all the time. I've made a couple of bags. Yeah, they are fun to make. And I said I'd like to do more with that in the future at some point. Like that duffel bag, I think would be fun to make. And that sort of thing there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. You never know. Maybe I'll become a bag maker one day. Anyway, we will say goodbye. Thank you all for tuning in. If you have made it this far in the replay, say hi in the comments. We always love hearing that. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. It helps immensely because you can only subscribe once, but you can always like every video, and it does help the metrics. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a great day. Happy sewing, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.